Welcome, gamers from around the globe. You've dropped into the best dang place for Game Pass news. That's right, it's the Game Pass Tracker Show. This is episode 129, recorded live Tuesday, November 21st, right before the Turkey Day. I'm Nick Metzger here with the best dang co-host a guy could ever have. That's right, Mr. Sean Abbott, and we are about to fill your brain with all this week's bits and bobs of Xbox, like where the hell did Xbox go? Because it's Turkey Day. They're all eating, apparently, because there's not a whole hell of a lot of news, but this is going to be one hell of a show, so you just better sit down. You better buckle up, because Game Pass Tracker Show is one crazy ride.
Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome to today's show. We just want to welcome you all to your favorite Xbox Game Pass podcast, the Game Pass Tracker Show. You can find us on pretty much every social networking site that's out there. Just look for us at Game Pass Tracker. If you have any thoughts or questions, don't hesitate to shout us in an email. Send it to show@gamepasstracker.com. That is show@gamepasstracker.com. If you're liking what you're hearing, we'd love to hear that too. So you can leave us a review on your go-to podcasting platform of choice. It really helps us grow and reach more fans like you who are already listening. And we wouldn't be a Game Pass show without promoting the big daddy itself, Xbox Game Pass. If you love Game Pass, you love our show, and you want to show your support, head to the link in the description and sign up to Game Pass within the next 24 hours from the Xbox.com website. You'll not only be supporting us, the Game Pass Tracker Show, but you'll also be signing up to one of the best gaming subscriptions going, Xbox Game Pass. So sign up to whatever level you desire, whether that's PC Game Pass, Core, or Game Pass Ultimate. Just play your own way by using the code in the chat or the show notes. You'll help us to continue to create the awesome content we love for you, our amazing fans. So without much further ado, let's head into this week's Game Pass headline.
It's Game Pass headlines time. Welcome, folks. Listen, this week we ain't got a lot, but we got stuff last week and we got stuff coming out next week. So let's chat about that. I'm going to roll on over here to the B-roll so that our wonderful folks can see. Coming out November 13th, last Monday. Last Monday is what it is. Spirittea came out. I've been putting I put a handful of hours, about 10, I think. So something like that into this game. I have my thoughts, but if you're wondering what it is a top-down Stardew Valley, Spirited Away-like game. You run a bathhouse. You have to try to find some spirits, and there's fishing, and there's bug catching, and there's all kinds of fun stuff. So if that's kind of your jam, then this is probably something you should check out. But if you're interested in a more in-depth thought on it, I will be talking about it in what I've been playing. Next.
Yeah, and then Tuesday.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Oh, I wanted to go back and forth this week. I should have said that before we started, but hey. So next that came out on November 14th was Coral Island. Nick spoke about this last week and its frame rate issues. I have played it, as I promised I would do last week. I have also run into some issues, which I'll talk about when we get to the dashboard later on. But this, if you liked Animal Crossing New Horizons during the pandemic and you found yourself stuck in a second life in there, this is pretty much like that, but it is for the Xbox. Really good game. You play a farmer that's just appeared upon an island. Everybody seems really super excited and curious that you are there. You've got to chop down trees. You've got to smash up rocks. You've got to water your seeds. You've got to rake the land. And you can sell other bits and pieces and items too. It's a fantastic kind of game. The graphics are great. The character building is great. You can be bald like me, which I'm super excited about. And you get to name your farm. And I've named mine the Tracker Farm. So.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, and so we'll have a chat about that a bit more in a little bit. Next came out on Friday, November 17th, Persona 5 Tatica from the Persona 5 world, obviously. This is a strategy game.
Turn-based style.
Yeah, turn-based style game. I went to the wrong one, Sean. I messed up. I'm not going to lie. I went to the one that's from a couple weeks ago.
I looked at this a little bit because I was like, okay, everybody seems to be super hyped about Persona 5 and the fact that it was coming to the Xbox. I'm a big fan of Mario Rabbids, the game on the Switch where you get to, the turn-based strategy game on there. So I thought I will look at it, I will try it. I haven't yet. I daren't pull the trigger because I don't want to get sucked into another turn-based strategy game while I'm literally waiting for the DLC to come out for Mario Rabbids Sparks. So,
I'm going to be very interested to know if you get sucked into this because I don't know. I don't see it. But anyways, if you need, it was day one on Game Pass. It's available everywhere. It's after strange incident, the phantom thieves find themselves in a grave danger until a mysterious revolutionary rescues them and offers a deal in exchange for their help. Assemble an all-star team of heroes and a brand new story in this thrilling combat adventure set in Persona's iconic universe. All right. And for the games we have this week.
Yeah, coming in the next week. First one on the list is Dune Spice Wars, which is coming to cloud and console. It's already available now via PC Game Pass, but it will soon be coming to Xbox consoles and to cloud gaming on a beta type platform. This is a 4-time real-time strategy game from the developers, the critically acclaimed Northgard, set in Frank Herbert's groundbreaking Dune universe. You must lead a faction in battle for the control and dominance over a harsh desert planet of Arrakis, which I believe I might have slayed that by. I do apologize.
You did better than I would have. Let me tell you that much. That's for sure. All right. Next, we have the EA Rollerdome game. Welcome to 2030. In a world where corporations reign and the lines between reality and performance are blurred, the public are kept distracted by brutal new blood sport. Rollerdome. Experience an adrenaline-pumping third-person action shooter that blends high-octane combat with tricking mechanics. Do you have what it takes to become the champion? Rollerdome is available everywhere November 28th, friends. It's got a fun comic-like art style. So,
I'm going to look into this because the comic art style is very much similar to Jet Set Radio, and I'm looking forward to the kind of high-paced action of the game. It's already pre-installed, ready to go November 28th.
Oh, fun.
Yep. And then the next one, I'm going to talk about it, and then I want Nick's kind of like hype towards the end because I know he's super excited for this. Is SteamWorld Builder. Nick played SteamWorld Dig and thoroughly enjoyed that, so he's really looking forward to this. SteamWorld isn't like any other series where most game franchises take a single core idea and iterate on it over multiple installments. So SteamWorld have gone away, they've done one thing, now they're going to come back and do another. This is a more 3D kind of crafting harvesting game that you get to play. The artwork for it looks great. It looks very in-depth, and I know for a fact before we started this, you said you were super excited about it. It could knock Coral Island completely off the top spot for you before Coral Island gets its fix that you're long waiting for.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, to be honest, I just kind of knew I would like this game, so I didn't really look much at it. I was just like, yeah, this is SteamWorld, and it's a building game. I don't really need to know anymore. Thank you. Have a nice day. But I cut the trailer. I didn't cut the trailer. I recorded the trailer for the B-roll here, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I did not realize how cool this game looks. It has animations, it's got building, it's got crafting. It's kind of like, oh my goodness, it looks really good. I am day one on this. I'm gonna, when we get done with this, I'm going upstairs to see if I can like make sure it's on my Xbox ready to play, because Friday now has something going on. By the way, this is Friday, December 1st, so it has. I'm here. Do we know if this is?
I don't think it's available yet because Rollerdome was the most up to, like when I looked on the Xbox, was the thing that was there for coming soon at the forefront of the desktop. So desktop dashboard.
I'm wondering where it's landing. Like, am I going to be able to play this everywhere or just on Xbox? I just wonder. But wow. I mean, this looks really good. The art style looks so fun. The world is proven and true. I'm here for this one. I'm hyped. I wasn't hyped when I sat in this seat and started to talk to you, but watching this trailer, I'm all in.
Yeah, I can't see anywhere where it says it's coming. Like, I'm I'm really quickly looking now, see if it says it's cloud or console, but I can't see anything anywhere for that yet.
Yeah,
so.
I went to the X-Wire thing too. Lot here about the game itself. The game looks amazing. SteamWorld comes to Xbox Series X and Xbox One. So if that's the case,
so it could be cloud then if it's on the Xbox One.
Maybe, I don't know, but wouldn't it say it there if it was going to be cloud? It just says Xbox and will be available day one on Game Pass. Man, this looks good. I want this game. Anyways, and because Coral Island had its issues, which we'll talk about in a little bit. This very well could just take Coral Island right off the map, and that's actually the problem with when your game doesn't come out great. You know, you got one shot. That sucks for developers, but it is what it is. All right. What is leaving, Sean?
So leaving from everywhere on the 30th of November is ANVIL, Disc Room, and Eastward. And then for console and PC, we will be losing Battlefield Bad Company 2, which is an amazing game. So you've got, the 21st today? So you've got like literally 9 days to go and play that game and enjoy it if you haven't already. Or replay it if you really want to for nostalgia's sake. And then on console, we are losing Battlefield 1943, which you can miss. I didn't enjoy that game. It was kind of like Cold War for Call of Duty. So they kind of did those ones at the same time. Maybe not Cold War, maybe the World War I one. Anyway, and then the other one is Battlefield Bad Company, the first adaptation of those two, which was a good game, but nowhere near as good as Bad Company 2. And then Grid, which I was pretty sure would have disappeared pretty quick with Forza Motorsport appearing and the WRC game coming as well soon. So
there you go. And as I always say, if you're interested in any of these games, you have now until November 30th. Do we go to 30th? Yeah. I had to do
November 30th.
Do the Knuckles thing, like the 30th. Anyways, whatever. Sorry, I didn't remember when it ended. November 30th to beat it, or you can get it for 20% off if you buy it before it leaves your blessed, wonderful service of Game Pass.
Yep, and if you are looking for the most up-to-date and clear-cut information on what is coming, what is leaving, and what is coming in the future, you can do that by going to GamePassNews.com.
That's right, and we are on to the X feed, people. Oh boy, there is difficulty in the Xbox Series S world, my friends. I tell you, so there's a couple things here. One, I have told you my angst with Coral Island in the last episode. Sean decided to make this prophecy that it may possibly be because I'm playing on a Series S, and I was like, no, Sean, couldn't be. Well, I'll be if the Coral Island developer didn't come out this week and say, hey, by the way, that problem that you're having, that's only for Series S players. Sean, how is it even possible? Aren't these the same systems, one's just more graphically intense? Like, I'm confused, man. I thought I knew what was going on here.
The only thing I can think is that it's to do with the processing power. So, and when they say it's coded differently, because that was I think the quote was that it was coded for the Series X. So the Series S wasn't dealing very well with that code. Is that it must be the amount of lines of code that it's trying to deal with at any one given time. Because I think there's something like 14 teraflops in the Xbox Series X, and I think there's like 7 in the Series S. Correct me if I'm wrong with that. But it must have to do with the amount of lines of code that it's receiving at any one point as to why it's crashing. And it's obviously being bombarded with that much information that fast it can't process it. So it just kind of goes, nope. That's the only reason I can see it, because, that's possibly what's also causing the frame rate issue, that it's trying to load things that quickly all the time.
But you're having the frame rate issue on X too, right? I mean, we'll talk about
I am,
this
but
later.
not not consistently and not constantly.
Oh, yeah.
Only around certain points, which, like I said, we'll talk about in the dashboard.
Yeah.
But yeah. So the issues that they're having though with the 1 terabyte with the, I want to call it the chunky Series S, because is that it's to do with the paintwork on it that they're having the issue with.
Yeah. Who's talking here? Chris Kajawaski? I don't know who this guy is.
Yeah. So he sat down with Mobile Syrup, which I believe the company that they modify consoles and paint them after the fact. So I'm assuming that they're just taking the white plastic of the Series S and giving it a coat of paint.
Mm-hmm.
So they're saying that they just run it. It's nothing internal that they're having issues with the Series S, by the way, the 1 terabyte one. It is literally all just cosmetic issues that they're having. So they're saying that they were struggling with discoloration, weird spots of color and weld lines on the plastic that looked like there was tiny cracks appearing in it, and then certain areas of the plastic being how the paint's taken to it, it's been shiny rather than matte black, which is obviously the color they're aiming for, is it to be matte black. So.
Yeah, well, so the thing is giving them trouble on the inside and the outside. I mean, I understand this is only for the outside, but the S in general is having inside problems as well. So that's delicious. They want me to buy an X, Sean. That's what Phil's trying to get me to do, but I'm not going to do it, Phil. I'm not. You get this shit figured out. I want my S to work like you said it would. That's it. I'm done. Mike, I'm out.
Yeah, I mean, they said it took more engineering builds and cost more money than it typically would, or than we would had initially scoped. But there was no pushback, no complaints about that. It was understood, and we have to get it right. So they took some time. They spent some money on it. So if you are in the market for a diskless next gen console and you don't want to go to the PlayStation for that, because they are doing a diskless version as well in the Slim, you could buy a 1 terabyte carbon Series S. And I mean, it looks the part. It looks great. Mm-hmm. So the carbon black is nice. I have the Series X, and it hides really well behind the TV. It doesn't pop up anywhere. So,
but I'm not going to buy it, Phil, because you're going to give me that stupid thing that you rumored or you leaked or whatever happened. I don't remember what it was called, the Brookline or whatever it was. I want that thing. Give me that. Then I'll buy it. I'm holding out for it. Sean says it might not come. I
don't think it will. Look, my prophecies at the moment.
That's true.
Good.
That's true. You're rock solid for prophecies. What else? What else are you gonna say? I bet SteamWorld build will probably blow up on your S, Nick. Why don't you just prophesy that, huh, Sean? Why don't you just pee in my cornflakes a little bit more?
I honestly hope that game works really well for you, because I know how excited you were for Coral Island, and that Spirittea isn't quite there for what you want it to do. So I'm genuinely sad, and I'm really happy that the developer that has actually come out and said, we're working on patchworks for that. And finally, after you bombarded them on X.
I did. I was like thumbing up everything. Literally, they would put something out and like half the replies would be like negative. I hearted every single thing that I could find. I was like, yep, amen. What they said. Yep. I was like, I bet I probably like silenced on their Twitter. But I shut up once they came out and said their piece. Anyways, I'm sorry. I could talk a lot about this, but I really shouldn't. Moving on. Starfield update 1.8.86 now's live, and you can eat food on the right away.
Yeah, I believe this is rumored to be called the Chunks update.
Sure.
As a nickname, just because you can now eat the chunks of food that you find in the environment and drink all the vital drinks and stuff that you find instantaneously. There's a lot of other stuff in there that's out there. We're joking around the fact that obviously the title of the show is speed eating, which you can now do in Starfield, and Thanksgiving. So
yeah,
I think a lot of people are kind of making the joke that you can now eat food instantaneously because it's Thanksgiving. Yeah. But there is NVIDIA DLSS support, so they're giving compatible NVIDIA graphic cards. I'm assuming this is aiming at PCs and stuff like that. Can now use DLSS super resolution, which allows you to have a low latency and a better frame generation. As obviously by popular request, they have there that they've added the ability to ingest food and drink items upon finding them in the environment, which you could do that in Fallout. So I don't know why they didn't just carry that straight across, because that makes absolute sense. There is performance and stability updates. So they've adjusted a number of memory release issues and leaks. They've added some GPU performance optimizations. They've improved render threading models and improved CPU usage, and various stability and performance improvements. Gameplay-wise, they have given a little bit more scope on the stealth. They've said it's been more forgiving. They fixed an issue where a certain NPC's head would stay permanently cloaked. They've fixed an issue that will prevent players from firing their weapons. They fixed some other NPC bits where you would see naked NPCs.
Well, that's unfortunate. Too bad they fixed that.
It is. Well, it depends on what you want to see.
That's true.
Looks like they've fixed some people have been having a rare issue where the home ship would be lost, but they have fixed that issue. Fixed issues where the ship services technician, which would be a big pain in the ass for him not to be there because you can't repair your ship. He sometimes goes AWOL, but he's now there all the time. And some camera improvements, as well as a load of graphical improvements. Feature where hard rocks can be cleared.
There was an article I just read that said that Bethesda still has 200 developers working on Starfield updates. Which I find pretty
and I'm not
impressive.
surprised with the amount of updates or the amount of stuff that's coming out in the updates. They're still doing a lot of work with this. So
yeah.
A lot of quest updates as well. So it's very possible if you've been having some issues in quests while you've been playing Starfield, go back, retry those quests after you've installed the update, because that could be working now.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the thing that touches all the gamers is this like eating food right away. So I get that. But if you're in the whatever small sector that couldn't fire a gun or lost your ship or couldn't get to the guy, like God bless you. Like you are like over the moon happy now that you can actually play this game and do the right thing, right? So it's like I understand it's probably a very small section of gamers that affect, but that literally like broke the game for you. So now you can play. Congratulations.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
Good on you. Just one game is confirmed for Xbox Game Pass in December, and that's the game we've already talked about, SteamWorld Build. So it's dang good. We sure think. Nick sure thinks that it's going to be a good game. But what's going on? The next. This is great, John. I went to a great website that I know. You probably never heard of it before, called GamePassNews.com, and I went and looked up. The next game that we know for sure is coming out is Persona 3 for Game Pass. For Game Pass. So let me make sure we understand. So for Game Pass, the next game we know for sure is coming out is Persona 3 Reload, February 2nd.
January.
Nope, February 2nd. So Xbox has a little bit of a story to tell here. Like what's coming out in the next 2 months? Xbox.
I don't know, but this time last year we said that December wasn't going to be a great month. And then we got High on Life, Lego Star Wars, and a couple of mentions in the Game Awards of stuff that was coming like in January time.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that we're going to get something the same. We've got SteamWorld Build coming the 1st of December, and then we're going to have the Game Awards, which a lot of people are hoping that we're going to get Baldur's Gate 3 announced, which could drop instantaneously because that game is already out there and being played. But I also think we're going to see a couple of little indie games appear as well for the holidays.
Yeah, dude. Listen, if Baldur's Gate 3 comes out, and I mean, I don't know if I would love this game or not, but I would certainly give it a go. I don't know a whole lot about it. I mean, I know it's really a zeitgeist game right now. Hit big, people loving it. If that fell onto Game Pass, like day and date with Xbox, I mean, I understand it's already out for PlayStation, but day and date with Xbox, that would be huge. And you really could right away the rest of December and I think you'd be quite happy. Like you could be done. And I know it's not going to be everybody's game. It might not be my game, but to say, yeah, you got SteamWorld Build and Baldur's Gate 3 in December on Game Pass, throw in a couple extra indies for fun, have a nice day, see you in January. Like, I mean, it'd be done.
Yeah. Turn the lights. So turn the lights off in the office. We don't need to come back in for Christmas.
Yep. Yeah. That's 100% true. And I could really see that being a thing. I know I should know this, and I think we looked this up last week, but I don't remember shit when longer than like a day. When is the game? Oh, December 7th. December 7th is the Game Awards. Okay. Yeah.
And I think let me see, what am I working December 7th? I'm on days, which is always nice. So I'll be like catching that at some point on my dinner at work, which is always fun.
Well, but it would be like midnight to 4 a.m. for you, right? Something like that. Isn't it like, doesn't it start at 8 or 9?
I didn't think it was that late.
Yeah.
It wasn't last time.
I'm sorry if music is about to
it
play. Please forgive me. I'm trying to. Why would you give a time? That doesn't make any sense. Just give me a day. They're still trying to figure out when it's going to start. 7:30 to 11 p.m. Eastern. So add 5 hours to your clock.
Yeah. So yeah, this time.
yeah, exactly. So, man,
ouch.
That is.
So I will be at home, but I will be sleeping because I'm at work at 5 a.m. the next day. So yeah, no dice.
Yeah, we'll have to have a conversation with the powers that be. I would stream this, but I need people to come and hop in and out with me. This would have to be a real casual stream. Like, I don't want to have to. I need, have it up there, be chatting. Well, there's a lot going on. There's a lot that doesn't happen throughout this entire thing. There's a lot of stuff and
clapping. Well, it'd be pretty cool if you could have a watch by with, I don't know, maybe the members of the social team that could be available at the time. From Game Pass Tracker family and our and just have a chill. Everybody sit back, watch that, inject where they want to inject, comment on where they want to comment, and fire off tweets left, right, and center about what was coming and what they're excited for. I reckon that would be a pretty good show.
Yeah, I think it could be too. We'll think about it. See, we're having another meeting right on podcast because that's how we do stuff. Okay, so I think you're right. I really do think that could be a thing. I think you have Baldur's Gate and you got SteamWorld Build. And like I said, they'll throw a couple things in. Do you think we'll get something next week? We'll get like one of those little placards with 4 or 5 rando games on it. I mean, it won't be Baldur's Gate, but just like rando indie games to fill the next couple weeks.
I'm not sure. I think December 1st, we've got our game coming out. I think they'll lean heavily on SteamWorld Build. My apologies.
Yeah,
I think they'll lean heavily on SteamWorld Build, and that should suffice them for 6 days until the Games Awards. A lot of people are excited for the Game Awards, which tends to cover a lot. So I'm not entirely certain we will see anything.
Yeah,
but I could be wrong. So.
Yeah, I mean, the crazy thing is just kind of like Thursday. It's just in Thursday. It's just kind of like this week as well, Thanksgiving week. So they didn't bring anything out this week. They don't need to. They're a US based company. So and I understand that we are. I don't know if we're the only country celebrating right now. I'm not really sure how that works. I know there's a Canadian Thanksgiving that was like last month. I don't know. I don't have it all in my head. Sean celebrates Thanksgiving every Sunday, like I said last week. We'll talk about this more in a second.
This is true.
So really, in December, they need to cover what? The first 2 weeks of the month? And really past that, they got somewhat of a pass, right? I mean, it's not, they don't, if nothing comes out like the 18th and the 20th, and the weeks of the 18th and the 25th, I don't think people are going to be overly pissed. I don't think people are really going to matter.
No, and you've got, there is games that you can purchase coming out from Xbox. It's not just, it's just there's that lull on Game Pass. So yeah,
but
we shall see.
Who purchases games on Xbox, Sean? Who does that?
I nearly pulled the trigger on the Metal Gear Solid collection because it's currently 10% off in the store and it was like $23.99. And then I looked at like how much money I have left for the rest of this month. I don't have $23.99, so thanks very much, English economy.
There was a game that I had said a couple of weeks ago, I was like, I might buy that. I might remember what it is anymore. the, the companies are screwed with me. They're like, we lost them already. There you go.
Yeah. Well, we've started our Christmas shopping. So like, I won't say things too loudly, but we've been making some big purchases for the kiddos. So I say big purchase. We made one big purchase and lots of little purchases. So.
Sure. Yeah. Beck and I need to get on that too. Gosh darn it. Santa's got to get working,
we've given
man.
So we'll save this for a bit later, but yeah. We've given a time constraint for when we want the Christmas lists in.
I think this podcast doc has just totally taken a shit. We're just like whatever at this point, you know. Like we told you what games are coming out. Now we're just gonna talk. Like speaking of
we have squirrel moments. We said this to people when we first ever launched, and we continue to say it every week. If there is a hole, we will go in it.
That's true.
And we will squirrel our way through that hole.
Slightly awkward. I might have to cut that for later. Just going to say. Sean Abbott, if there's a hole, we'll go in it. News bulletin. Moving on. Justcent adds multiple new features in free Xbox Game Pass update. None of those really have to do with regular game mechanics. They're mostly accessibility. You don't have to hold the triggers now if you don't want to climb. The stamina can be gone if that is something that is frustrating you. If you deal with color blindness, they're adding options to help with that. All things like that, which are very, very good to have. But regular
they have some bug fixes as well, which they're saying that quality of life improvements that hadn't been fully documented at the time of writing. The article that we are reading from, but I'm not upset that they haven't expanded the game. I wish they would. I don't know how they're going to expand the game. If anybody that's played this and completed it, the story kind of just ends, and that's it. There doesn't really look like there can be a game further than that. But they could take you to a different world. They could add stuff where challenges like time. I would like a timed challenge, like speedrun this game kind of stuff. But yeah, it was a beautiful game, and I'm glad they've added some bits to make it more accessible for other people that might not enjoy the game as it was.
Yeah. Yep. 100%. So that's our news bulletin. That's it. Feature story. It's Thanksgiving. What are our Thanksgiving plans? What are we doing? What's up? How's things going? I have family coming to my house, Sean. That's what I'm doing for Thanksgiving. We kind of bring everything. So one person cooks the main like meat dishes, and then people bring stuff. So like I got the turkey and the ham because we do both because we're just rebels like that. My wife makes this stuff called corn cake. It actually, I think, used to be called corn casserole, and then Ariel started calling it corn cake when she was like 3, and it stuck, and now everybody calls it corn cake. So it's like, I mean, she's not wrong. It's like that's why it stuck. It's like a cake made out of corn, and it's really fantastic. It's got creamed corn and whole corn, and I don't know. It's like one of my favorite dishes. Then my aunt's bringing stuffing and yams. My mom's doing mashed potatoes. Oh man, green beans from my other side in-laws, from my in-laws, and everybody's just bringing a shit ton of desserts. I mean, really, it's a feast, and it's always fantastic.
So like once you finished eating all this food, like what then happens after that? Because that's I would imagine that you would probably just pass out in some kind of giant food coma. But do you have when we watch films and programs in the UK, so like we watched Modern Family. We were a big fan of Modern Family, and like every time it came around to Thanksgiving within each season of Modern Family, there was traditions that they would do. So they'd all go out in the yard and play football, or like there'd be like they'd all have to watch this on football. What else? So most programs do revolve around American football, but everybody has like traditions. So like, what is there any that you guys have?
Yeah, that's so we we always watch the parade, the Macy's Day Parade, in the morning. The kids like to watch that. And then we'll watch at least one. There's now, there used to just be one football game, which was doable. It took 3 hours. Now, legitimately, there are 3 football games on throughout the rest of the Thanksgiving day. So we usually watch the Lions game, and then after that, sometimes we'll watch the Cowboys play. But we also like to play Jackbox. That's a big thing we like to do on Thanksgiving, or play some type of card game. We have a few that we play. And then sometimes we'll have some people watching the football, and other people will be playing board games or card games. Whatever, we're just hanging out. That's pretty much what we do. But yeah, the parade and at least the Detroit game, and then some people will keep watching for the Dallas game as well. Because we do have some Dallas fans in the family. I tell you, sinners, but whatever. And so, no, I just kid. I love you, Cowboy fans. Not everybody can make good choices in life.
See, I love this. This is like, speaking with you for so many years. I know that you aren't a huge watch every football game.
No.
That's on the TV, but I know that you are a big fan of the Lions, a big following of them. Like you were discussing the history behind them, winning their first game, winning the first series before it was the NFL became the NFL.
Yep.
And the history with the Green Bay Packers and stuff like that. We were talking about that before the show, and so it's interesting because I don't. It's not very often that we discuss this kind of side of things. So
yeah. So I can't watch every Detroit Lions game, Sean, because I would need medication to make it through life, quite frankly. There's a slightly, this year is different, and so I'm really all for them, and I'm hoping they don't screw it up, but they can be depressing too.
See, I get this. I have the same feeling with that 2021 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix race, where Max Verstappen absolutely bullied Lewis Hamilton off the track, and the FIA screwed Lewis Hamilton. And I will say this openly: they screwed Lewis Hamilton big time. They've actually changed the rules, so that can't ever happen again. But they screwed him out his 8th World Championship. I still now we watched the race, we watched the Las Vegas race last week, and they showed flashbacks to 2021 because it's the Abu Dhabi race this weekend coming up. And I literally said to Lindsay, I cannot watch that, even the flashbacks to it. I cannot watch it without it boiling my blood. I get PTSD from. I curled up in a ball. I pulled my hoodie up over my head. I pulled it tight. I was an absolute wreck. My heart rate was up through the roof. I was shouting at the TV, and I'm like, I don't do that at sports. Why am I doing this at racing?
Yeah. No, I get.
But yeah, I get it. I get you with the not being able to watch everything.
Yeah, it gets me. I think it was 4 years ago. It was a Sunday night game. It was Detroit and Green Bay, and they were in Detroit, and we were up, but not by much. And it was 4th and 2nd. They were, I don't know, they were the 50-yard line or something like that. And so they still had half the field to go. And Rodgers threw this Hail Mary shit pass that somehow miraculously they caught in the end zone. It was gut wrenching. And not that we've really had much of a shot to win that season anyways, but that was just the last thing. And then of course, every Detroit game, they're well, Detroit's up. Remember that one play a week ago or 2 weeks, all the way through? Let's flash back one more time just to take a dagger out and shove it through the Lions' hearts one more time. And it was just oh my God, I swear. So yeah. Anyways, this isn't sports talk. We're sorry. But yeah, that's what Thanksgiving entails for us. That's what we do, and we love it. And this is what happens when Xbox doesn't give us enough news to talk about. So take that, Phil.
Well, it's prompt. We've got Thanksgivings in 2 days. So everybody that'll be listening, anybody that's watching live, will probably be making all their Thanksgiving plans. And I know it's a nice thing to share, and people it is. We are two dads as well as gamers. We are also two dads, so we have family and everything.
Oh, speaking of dads, Coral Island, you really effed me over, because if you were not, I don't have kids for 2 nights this week. They're at different grandparents for 2 different nights. I could be playing, but because your game sucks, not game is really good, but you because you have some bugs. Okay, I'm sorry. Because you have some bugs, now I can't play it. I'm actually thinking about buying Super Mario RPG because I don't really have a game that I want to play.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, let's go into the dashboard and we can talk about what is so bad with Coral Island.
Shit, we have a dashboard? It's the dashboard. The thing Sean was talking about that I forgot that we had, apparently. It's here. Sean, you want to go first?
Yes. So I will get this one out of the way really quickly. I've been playing Mario Wonder. I am absolutely loving that game. It's got a lot of cool mechanics to it. I am obviously trying to 100% it as I go along. I didn't realize when I was speaking to you there is a special world, which I'm really excited about. And some of the levels are tough.
Yeah, I haven't even tackled the special world yet. So yeah.
Oh, the I would like from the fluffy cloud area. The first, a lot of people shared the video of the Wonder challenge where you have to jump in time with the blocks appearing and disappearing. Yeah, the next one after that, it's fucking awful.
Yeah, I was able to beat that one. The problem is, Sean, when you die, when you have 4 people and you all die, it's really a killer for your coins. That's why we decided to wait on the. So like we're playing with everybody, and so it's like. It really only takes 2 deaths, like 2 playthroughs. And if everybody dies in those 2 playthroughs, you're back to the beginning, and the little freaking worm is taking 50 of your coins. So yeah, we decided to wait on that because it was like, well, we don't really want to use all of our coins just trying to beat this special world. So, but no, it is a great homage to Super Mario World for sure.
And I played 2-player with Logan, and I completely feel you for the whole Noah in charge thing because it seems to swap and change, and that really annoyed me because we were doing that one where you had to hit the timer blocks and then run to the next timer block and collect stuff, and he was just like trying to tear ass through the level, and I was just like, dude, no, slow down, we need to get this coin. So there's like 3 or 4 levels I know I need to go back to because I did them with him and he just tore straight through them. So
yeah. Pro tip: ban. And I know this sounds weird, but ban Nabbit and Yoshi for kids when you're playing in a group. Because if you have them and you're struggling in an area, they don't die. So at least if the people die, at least if that person dies, then you'll take charge. So if your kid's trying a thing and it's like, oh, I missed. Okay, he comes back. But once he dies, you take charge. Where if you have Yoshi and Toad, you can never take charge to get past that part because he just dies and he comes back and because he never technically died, the camera doesn't switch to you, and you can't move forward if the guy with the camera doesn't move forward. So yeah, we banned Nabbit and Yoshi because it's like, I'm sorry guys, but sometimes it's like it got really frustrating on some jumps where it's like he can't do it, and normally I'd just be like, I got it, don't worry, nice try, but it doesn't work. So no.
Yeah. The last thing I'm going to say about this before we start tearing into Coral Island and bits and pieces like that is the online is freaking awesome for Mario Wonder. They have done that so well, and the ghosts that appear, and if you do die for whatever reason, you can race to another player that's playing online, and they'll bring you back. The heart system works really well, so when you help people, when you finish together, the heart system builds up. I think I'm at 2,500 hearts.
I don't even know what these hearts
standees are. It's just a way of showing how helpful you are to people.
Okay.
So every time you rescue somebody, I think you get 50 hearts or something like that. And you finish a level together, you get 100. And then there's the standees that you can put down, and you can collect those. And it's just fun. It's just fun to be seeing people running through the level. People put standees in places where there might be hidden stuff, which can really help you out. They also put them in places where just absolutely nothing. You spend ages trying to get to this random standing, and you're just like, oh, they did that because it was really hard to get to there. But yeah, it's just good fun, and you can hit X on the control pad, and you can put up a smiley face, and like if you're there's like 3 or 4 of you running through the level together, you can all give smiley faces, which is just a really nice way to connect to other Mario players without having all the toxicity of shouting down microphones to each other and stuff like that.
That's really cool. Yeah. And so if you're wondering why hasn't Nick done that, you can't play online with 4 players. And I've literally only played this game with 4 players.
Yeah.
We played on Sunday. World 4 is long, by the way, or at least it seems long. Because we went back.
Is that the mushroom one?
No, that's the desert one.
Oh, the desert one I did pretty quick. I just did that one.
No, I don't know. It took us a night, and I think we're pretty much through most of the levels. We just have to beat the baddie, and then we're done. And then that'll be our last dragon around the ship thing. So see what happens after that.
Okay. All right, let's talk Xbox stuff. So Coral Island. Do you want to talk about that first, or do you want to talk about other things you've been playing before we?
No. We both played Coral Island, and then we'll jump in. I actually am going to ask your advice on one of mine over here, and I think you know which one it is. So let's talk about the one we've both been playing. I mean, so I have Coral Island. I have talked about my issues. It stutters a lot. I can't give stuff to the museum because it crashes. I have literally, and I mean, I was joking. I have not been that annoying to the developers. They don't deserve that. But I have reached out to them numerous times, and so they not admitted, but they said, hey, yeah, there's an issue with the S for sure. Not to me, but publicly. I'm not that special. There's an issue with players on the S, and we're working on it, and we're gonna try to get it fixed. And they won't say that, hey, once we'll be able to fix this without losing your save. So I don't want to play because I don't know if my save file would be intact from playing. So I want them to at least get the hotfix out, see what that does to my save file, and then move forward. But yeah, there's sound issues, frame rate issues, and if you're on the S, there's some crashing issues. So that was on the S. What do you got, Sean?
So what I've got on the X is pretty much the same, but just not constant and not consistently. So the sound issue that I think you're talking about is common on the X. So when you're chopping down, you're swiping with the axe, you get the axe swiping sound, but then you don't get it striking the tree sound. And it's the same with breaking rocks and stuff like that. You don't get that striking noise. So where you usually expect it to go chunk, chunk, chunk into the wood, you don't get anything.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing. And then the stuttering or the frame rate breakdown, I only ever get when I'm coming out of the map or when the game first loads, like from walking through a door. They are the only times I'm getting any frame rate issues. And that might happen. It might skip 2 or 3 times and then it'll be okay. Or it might skip 2 or 3 times and then you'll start walking, then it'll skip like another 3 or 4 times, but then it'll be okay. Which, once you've been playing the game for a while and you've got an idea of where things are, is okay. But when I had no clue where the carpenters were or where the general store was or what I was looking for, because that's not very self-explanatory. You're kind of looking at the difference of symbols. It was really annoying to be hopping in and out of the menu all the time and then it stutter and then be in and out of the menu and then it stutter. And I was like, okay. So...
yeah.
And the only other thing I've done as well is I've turned the music down because it was quite repetitive. So
see, I like the music, but then I haven't played super long, but the time I had it with, I liked. Although I do think there is another sound issue that it doesn't fade into new areas. It's a very abrupt, like you think of Starfield, when you get to a different area, it kind of fades into this crescendo. Here, it's just like playing one music. You go to the village, and it's just like this hard stop into a different song, and it's like, okay, that sounds very abrupt. So I think that's an issue too.
The other thing I had with it is where it was going from night to day was really the only change that I could sense in the music massively. But when we were playing Animal Crossing New Horizons, like every hour the music changed ever so slightly, and I really liked that. I got because playing Animal Crossing New Horizons got me into lo-fi music, so because it's just how chilled and simple it was. So I think that's kind of what it's missing is the difference in times and the music changing at the times. Other than that, the game is fantastic. It has so much potential. I think some of the characters, like where they pop up, like the avatars, not the actual people that you see on the screen all the time, but the avatars that pop up while you're talking. Some of them, the designs are great. They very resemble some Disney characters in my eyes. So
yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to bring up too, Sean. Like if you're listening to this being like, wow, you shit on this game last week, now you're talking about it more. It's kind of like that player that not to go back to sports, but kind of like that player in sports that you keep critiquing because you know how good they could be. You know, like you're just like, you could be so good. And that's why this one hurts more than like some Game Pass games are like, yeah, that one's not the best. I'd stay away from it, whatever. But you see the potential in this game to be the like Animal Crossing of Xbox. And the world feels so good. When you look at the map, the way they've built it all out looks so good. They've given you this great space. They've given you all the things the cozy, comfy, crafty gamers love to do. Like it's all there. Like all they have to do is fix these issues. Good news, they can be fixed. They really can. These are not the end of the world issues that are like, well, the game's broken forever. Too bad. No, they can be fixed. But that's why I bring it up for a second week because one, they've admitted I keep saying admitted. That's the wrong word. They've said, hey, listen, we know there's issues.
They've acknowledged the issues.
Yeah, acknowledged is the right word. Thank you.
Yeah. But I mean, like they have there, like you said, there is so much. Like there's a water temple somewhere in there.
Yeah, somewhere. Yeah, I haven't even been there yet.
There's so many different shops. There's so many different villages to talk to. There's just, this is like it's not very often that I jump into a crafty kind of game. Like it's like Animal Crossing absolutely sucked me in. Like very useful time for it to be there during the pandemic, but this game I could play a lot because it, like you said, it ticks so many boxes. There's little niggly issues, and for me, it's easy to play for those little niggly issues. I'm gonna go and try the museum after we finish recording into this evening, and I will feed back to you whether or not that works. I'm hoping it does, and I don't have the issue of it freezing. But
I want to know because that's what they say. They say that X players are not having the crash on the museum issue.
Yeah, so I will figure that out. I will go visit the museum. I will figure those 10 items that I need to get, and then
I will say Sean gave me a really great idea, which I don't know why I've never thought about doing it. I told him that a lot of times I can make it 2. There's a cutscene when you give the 10th item. What happens is there's a cutscene, and it's a cutscene about the museum getting bigger. He's the museum curator's talking to you, and he's like, "Yeah, don't you think this is small? The museum could be bigger." And somewhere between you dropping the 10th item in and him talking about the museum, and right before he's about to be like, "Hey, yeah, let me show you some plans I have," somewhere in between dropping the item and when he says that, the game crashes. It's not always at the exact same spot. Sometimes you immediately drop the item in, game crashes. Sometimes you start talking to the guy, but I've never made it farther than, I want to make the museum bigger. Let me show you. And then it kind of goes dark, like you're about to see what the museum could look like or what he wants to do, and then it crashes there. So it always crashes no further than there. Sean gave me the idea of skipping that cutscene. So I'm going to give that a shot and see if that works. See what happens. So but yeah, that's Coral Island, and I don't have much else to say. Do you have anything else on it there, sir?
No. It's got lots of potential, and I'm looking forward to playing it some more. And I seriously hope for you that they fix everything on the Series S.
Oh, I appreciate that. All right. So I've been playing Spirittea. I talked that this game is a good game, but it wasn't for me. And I was really struggling last week. I didn't want to say too much about it because I hadn't figured out what I had an issue with, I guess is the best way to say it. So I put in probably about 6 to 8 more hours on Friday and Saturday. And here's what it is, Sean. I figured it out. The game loop of going to the bathhouse, doing the bathhouse thing, like helping the spirits out in the bathhouse, running that, making sure that's there, that is somewhat fun. You get the money from that, and then you go and you upgrade the bathhouse, or you can buy items from the shops. The thing is, there's two issues in my mind. One, when you do the bathhouse, all you know is how much money you made from your day running the bathhouse. You don't know. What they don't do is they don't break out enough what spirits give you what money and why you get that money. So it's like, so you know me. I like to do the spreadsheet thing, right? I like to find the gaming system, break it down to the minuscule amount, and figure out how to maximize my potential for the time there. I can't do that because they refuse to give me that information. So I go in the bathhouse. I don't know if helping the big spirits makes me more money or less money or the same money, or helping the little spirits are better because the big spirits take a lot more of my bath. But I don't know. It doesn't say hey, that guy gave you 50. They call them logs, but whatever. And this guy gave you 20. I don't know. So I think that's part of the issue. The other part of the issue is, and this might be a creative decision on their part, but I think they went too far. And Lord knows, I love playing games where you have to figure everything out. But they don't tell you squat about what is going on in the world. You said it was hard to figure out the map. In the map in Spirittea is literally just a map. You can't scroll over and see if that's the bar, the karaoke bar, Bruce's house, Bob's house. You can't see any of that. You can go to the house. The best way you can tell is by going into the house and trying to talk to the person to see who they are. And then when there's an issue of hey, the spirit needs something, yep, there's an issue with the spirit in the garden. So you go and you talk to the person who's well, I don't know. I guess you'll have to figure out how to distract the spirit in the garden. And it's a little bit too much just figure it out. We're not going to give you shit to do that. That it's man, Friday I played for 5 hours, I think. And I helped 2 spirits. And I can't maximize my money in the bathhouse because they're not giving me the information to do that. And I think those are the issues. So the game is really good. And if you really like to do the figuring out the nitty gritty things, trial and error testing, then this could definitely be the game for you. I am not knocking it. It's just not the game for me. And those are the reasons why. And so I just kind of wanted to explain that. It took me a bit to figure out why it wasn't for me, to be honest. And so, but overall, the game runs great. It's got a really pretty pixel art style. I mean, it's got that Stardew art style, which is pretty. If I at least I like it. And it has a good game loop of bathhouse to upgrades to bathhouse to upgrades to do stuff in the town. And you can be friends with everybody. And that's the other thing they don't tell you really. They tell you, hey, you should befriend people in the town because they'll help you in the bathhouse. But I've befriended people and they've given me items, but they've not asked to help me. So I don't know. I just feel just a bit more information would be helpful to keep me on track, or to keep me feeling interested, because right now I just feel I'm running around. Somebody's putting curry noodles in my text boxes. I have no idea what to do about that. None whatsoever. I'm just very confused. So anyways, that's my issue with Spirittea. Sean, last game, I need your help.
Uh-oh.
I know that you have spent a good deal of time, or I believe you have in the past, in Minecraft. So here's the deal. We are highly addicted to this game. My son, me, and my daughter. We are in survival. We're playing on the regular difficulty. We found this awesome, basically stone mountain. And I had the idea to take that stone mountain and carve it into a house, basically, a mansion. And that's what we did. Lots of play over 2.5 weeks. We have 4 different stories. Each of us have our own story. And then there's a communal basement, a walkout basement onto the sea where you can fish. There's field and there's a ranch and there's a pool. I mean, it's freaking awesome. And we've had a absolutely great time. I put the kids love getting animals. So we made the ranch down in the basement and they put animals in there. Oh my gosh, it's great. They got leashes. They're doing the thing. They know how to do that. I don't even really care. I just build shit and mine shit. And then I I've made a couple bridges over ravines. I put because I wanted to be green, I put a dirt roof on top of the mansion, and then I built trees So now we can like mine trees for oak and stuff. It's fantastic. Here, my son, I was thinking this in my head, and my son asked me this morning. We were both in the same mindset of like, we really think about like what's next about this game when we're not playing it. Sean, I don't know what to do next. Like what? Like he's like, Dad, what do we do? And I'm like, well, we're a little resource poor. Like I was hoping in the mountain of stone, somewhere in the middle, we would find a good bit of resources. We didn't, so we can go mine for resources and make some other stuff that we don't have. But like, what am I trying to do anything, or is it because if this is it, that's fine. But is there an ending-ish to the game, or am I pointing in something? Tell me.
So yeah, you need to go to the Nether. Which to get to the Nether, you need to build a Nether portal. To build an Nether portal, I believe you need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 bits of obsidian. I believe it's obsidian.
Okay. Do I just got to mine down? Just to try to find it?
Yeah, but you don't get obsidian just from mining. There's stuff I can't remember off the top of my head how this is made. So this might be something that you need to kind of either look up, which I think I had to do at the time.
Yeah, sure. That's fine.
But once you've made, so you get the stuff to make a Nether portal. So once you've made the Nether portal, you use your flint and steel, which you would normally use to make fire. You use that in the center of this square base. Well, it's a rectangle that you make. You make it 3 across. 3 across. Leave a gap at the bottom. So 1 empty space. 3 up. Empty space, 3 across, empty space, 3 down, empty space. So you basically get like the inside bit looks like a rectangle. You can make this anywhere on the map you want. You can make it. You can make in your mansion that you built in the side of the mountain. You could make a Nether room, which I'd advise to do. I'd make a Nether room with chests and stuff for like cooking and crafting. So when you come out the Nether portal, you can start stuff straight away, regroup food and stuff like that, then go back again. And when you go to the Nether, you are looking for I can't remember the crystals, ender crystals. You need to collect so many of these things, and then you can open an ender portal and you go and defeat the ender dragon. So that is the objective is the game is to get to the ender dragon.
Okay.
There you go. Water. Putting water on lava will create the obsidian that you need.
What? I have an entire lava waterfall right across from our mansion. Like, you just blew my mind, Sean. You literally just blew.
So, yeah, there you go.
I mean, I was trying to pickaxe the lava. We tried to use an iron pail on the lava. I never thought about putting water on the damn shit. Now I feel dumb that I didn't think about that. But,
yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh man. Now we know what we're doing. I'm gonna blow my son's mind when I tell him this. That is exactly what we're doing. And by the way, we did not build this house in the side of a mountain. We literally built it with the mountain. Like we have rooms. I have built 4 Yeah, I have built 4 rooms in my story of the mansion, and I still have like 3/4 of my room left that's just like barren space that we didn't even like I say we're resource poor. We're resource poor because we have put so much coal into these like candles to torches to make sure that everything has like it's crazy. I can give you screenshots. They're just big empty stories right now. We haven't actually built them out. But anyways, go ahead.
When you get into the Nether and you start finding like glow rocks and stuff like that, that'll completely change how what you use to light the inside of your mansion. So,
dude, I just want to play right now. But I promised my kids I wouldn't. They literally were like, "Dad, are you going to play?" I was like, "Will you let me?" And they were like, "We don't want you to." And I was like, "Then I won't because we're doing this together."
So thank you very much to Pixdizzle for the reminder of how to make obsidian with water on lava. That came out in the chat, so thank you very much. You just helped Nick out.
You did so much. Thank you. You're gonna let me blow my kids' minds because man, we are highly addicted to Minecraft right now. I mean, I know it's been out for like 100 years, but it's new for us.
Yeah. So mining resources it comes in layers. So like, and it's also down to percentage of chance of things in layers. So if you want diamonds, you need to go down so many layers, and then it's like percentage of chance of those items being near that in that layer.
Sweet.
So
yeah, I mean,
I had a whole math thing. So like when you make a map, you get X, Y, and Z. And I had like a whole table. Like I got spreadsheet, like you got spreadsheet. I got like that, and it was kind of like I knew that minus so many levels, you kind of had a 3 to 5% chance of finding diamond at this level, and then it kind of like worked off from there.
All right. It has been so much fun. I mean, my kids have been into creative mode for a while. I think I said this last week. They're now into survival mode, which has got me really into it. And I mean, when we finally built like our first level, it was like Castaway. Like we built the first level on top of the mountain, and we found coal, and we made a torch, and we lit it, and we were actually like legitimately safe for a night. We were like, we have done it. Like it was so great. Like it was a moment for all three of us. It'll be one of those things, you know, like even my daughter, it actually might be the first gaming moment with my daughter where we're all kind of legitimately into it, like doing stuff and figuring out where things are. They're finding food and animals and making sure we have oak and all that stuff. And I'm like just blowing through pickaxe after pickaxe, basically just mining through this mountain to give us this gigantic like mansion.
Yeah.
So.
Now you see the worry I have is that all three of my kids play it. So Logan's playing it on the iPad. Emily will play it on the Switch. Jaya plays it on the Xbox, and I have it on my Xbox. And we could all share the same server, and I daren't do it because I know every waking minute that I have where they aren't doing anything will be, let's play Minecraft.
Yeah, that's. I mean, yeah, I've had to be like, no, guys, we have put. Becca wasn't feeling good this weekend, so she was like, do whatever you want. So I mean, we legit put 6 hours on Saturday in Minecraft. Like that's the most my kids probably have played one day of gaming. Like we're pretty severe about like 1 hour a day, sometimes 2, and a lot of times during the week they'll go like multiple days without playing. But yeah, like 6 hours of games in one day was a lot for my kids, and they loved it. They were like, I can't believe Dad's letting me do this. But it's been great.
Yeah, Pix Dizzle said he that's how his kids got into gaming, was from Minecraft. And it's a fantastic gateway into it because it's such a simple game. On the face of it, you can play creative mode, you can create the biggest, most spectacular house you want, you can, and then like Emily and Logan was the same. Like Emily really loves axolotls, so she has like a big axolotl farm, and Logan at the moment is really into putting skeletons in lava for some reason. I don't know if it's something he's watched on YouTube, but he keeps making up these really weird traps, and they're really clever, the traps that he makes for these skeletons. So like it's that, and then I like the whole redstone. Once you get into the Nether and you start finding redstone, then you can start automating stuff, making, you know, the and OR gates. So like you can make switches. So if you press this switch and this switch, it will do this. And it's just, it then becomes a really like educational tool as well. So
yeah, no, it's been a lot of fun. And I, you know, literally I had plans to buy Super Mario RPG and be like, hey guys, let's just come together and play this game. But it's like, nah, I'm not, just no reason. Like they're not going to care about it. They are sucked in. When I read about the trees, because I told him, I said, man, we're using a lot of oak. We got to figure out what we got to do here. And so then I looked up, and it was like, I tried making them, and they weren't working. But then I found out it was like, I think it's a 5x5 plot is what you need. So, and I was like, well, we're going to have to make it out in the forest. And then I thought, we have a gigantic roof that we're not doing anything with. And so we put all these trees on the roof, and I was like, I don't know if this is going to work, guys. I have no idea if we're supposed to water them, not water them. I was like, I'm just going to leave them here and see what happens. And then Noah was over across the water, and he looked up, and he's like, where'd that forest come from? And I was like, what forest? He's like, that forest. I was like, that's our house. I was like, oh my gosh, it worked. And we were all like, what? There's just so many moments like that where it's just been like, we have a forest on our house. And so, yeah, it's been a really good time. So thanks, Minecraft. Thanks, Xbox. It's been good. We kind of already started party chat, so I'm not even gonna just play it. I'm just gonna let's do the party chat thing.
Okay.
Boo. There you go.
It's party time.
Yeah, party time. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so that's what I've spent most of my gaming time, especially doing, is Minecraft. So how have you been, man?
Yeah. I've been good since we last recorded. Friday, I took Lindsay's grandma shopping, as we do every Friday, unless her dad's up from where he lives. It's kind of something that started during COVID, that we were buying her food and taking it to her because she's got COPD, so we didn't want to risk the COVID situation. And then unfortunately, like, we lost Lindsay's grandfather during COVID. So it's kind of just carried on every week. One of us takes the shopping, either me or Lindsay. She likes to go on Friday morning. She likes to go down to the market. She likes the bread fresh. She likes all the vegetables from the market vendors. So I take her down there and we go to a couple of places. We chat and stuff like that. This week she had an issue with her oven, so I had to fix her oven as well on Friday, which was quite an easy fix. Quite happy about. And then Saturday I worked, and then Sunday was Logan's, like, he called it his guys' day. So he took 3 of his friends go-karting to a local indoor track that's near us, and they had a blast on that, and then took them for some chicken nuggets and chocolate shakes, and then took them trampolining, which was a really good idea, to fill them full of chicken nuggets and chocolate shakes when they're going to go bounce around.
As long as it's not your trampoline, who cares?
Yeah. So they had a blast. They were all really tired by the end of it. Lots of sweaty kids. But good time. So we did that, and then what did it? I'm back in the gym yesterday, which was nice. Back to running and lifting. Just felt quite good. And then today I had a half day at work, and then went to the gym again. And then before we started playing, I booted up Coral Island and played some Coral Island.
Yeah. Cool, man.
And any other opportunity I've had to pick up the Switch and play Mario Wonder while Logan's asleep, I've been doing that. So while Lindsay reads on a night, she likes to read for a bit, like 20 minutes, half hour on a night before she goes to sleep. So I've been like sat in the bed playing Mario Wonder.
I like it. Nice. Yeah, we're going to play Mario. My mom and I, we agreed that we would play, because the two of us can play, the kids get in there, like you're saying, and it's kind of run over. And it's fun. Like, I'm having a great time. I want to finish it with them. But yeah, it gets a little crazy. So mom and I, after they left, I was like, do you want to, once we beat this once, do you want to play this together? And she was like, yes, please. So, and I think I believe with 2 players only, you can still play online. I think that's true.
Yeah. This is true, yeah, because when I've been playing it with Logan, he was like, where are all these ghosts coming in? And I was like, oh, there are other people playing Mario at the same time as us. And he really thought that was crazy. It blew his mind. He was like, these people are playing at the same time as us. I was like, yep.
Yeah, that's cool. So it'll be fun to have the online on while mom and I play. And so we'll go through it again and probably 100% it. I don't know if we will with Noah and Ariel. So we did that.
I like having conversations with Logan about Mario, because like it's something that obviously I've played since I was a kid. Like, I first played my first Mario game in 1989. It's like, and that blows his mind that I played Mario when I was his age, and he's like, "Oh, Daddy, could you do this in Mario?" And I was like, "No, you know what Mario I was playing at my age. I said, this is it. You have played it. And he's like, "Really? That's the only one you have?" I was like, "Yes, that is the only one we had." And he was like, that sucks.
He's like, poor you.
Yeah, it didn't suck at the time. That was awesome. It was like, you got really good at it. You knew all the little shortcuts, because there was no there was no continues, there was no save points. So they get to explain to him the revolution of save memory cards and stuff like that. And like, I've loved the NSO expansion pack in terms of like having all the old games, because like every time we kind of sit down and he hasn't got anything to play, we go back and we play some of the old Mario games, and it's like I've got the nostalgia feeling, but then at the same time watching him play and struggle in the same places I can remember struggling and things like that. So
yeah,
it's fun.
Yeah, I took I think when I mean we were podcasting when I did it, so but that's becoming less and less helpful. I took anyway, I think it was like 3 or 4 years ago. I took Noah through all the Marios. We did 1, 2, 3, and then went on to Super Mario World and struggled like shit and made it through N64. I will never do that again. Made it through the Super Mario 64. And then what's next? Super Mario Sunshine. And I think we stopped there. Which is funny because like one of my favorite Marios is Galaxy, but we stopped at my favorite one. But I wanted him, to just get a feel for him, and so we played through him and beat him, and he actually had a really good time, minus Mario 64 and 2. He actually, that was probably the first time he ever rage quit a video game. He was like, "Dad, I'm done. I'm not playing this." I don't even really know. I don't remember what it was about it anymore. But he was just like, "I'm done, Dad. This is not for me."
Super Mario 2 is the one where you can pick up the turnips out of the ground, isn't it? Yeah. I was never a fan of that when I was a kid. And it's because the gameplay style was completely different to everything else. They've never really gone back to that gameplay style either.
No, yeah.
So, yeah, it was just a bit different.
Yeah,
but,
it was.
Hey.
But that was also the first game. Ariel was very young at the time, and Noah played everything with me. And that was the first time Noah walked away while I was playing a video game. I mean, and we would play it together, and he was just basically like, "I'm out, I'm done." And that left my lap open to this like 3-year-old, to my 3-year-old daughter, and she's like, "Dad, can I play with you?" And I was like, "Sure." And so she just hopped up, and we beat that game. We beat that game. She'd play every once in a while, but really, she was like on my lap the whole game. Like we just beat it, and she was just like, I don't know. I think it was just like a dad-daughter thing, and she was just like happy to be like, he's playing video games, and it's just me and brothers somewhere else, not bugging us, and this like she thought it was great. So, yeah, that always be a memory.
Yeah, I mean, kids and gaming is really good because I always remember that it was like my dad would control it. I would help every now and then. I would be like Ariel to like was to you, but I'd be like that to my dad. So like I'd sit on his knee, we'd do this and other bits and pieces. And like I did the same with Jaya when I introduced Jaya to the Xbox, because like she played a little bit, but it was more just the gimmicky side of the Kinect bar. So she played the Disney Fantasia style game where like you could fire the fireworks off. But then like when I introduced her to Minecraft on that, it was just hilarious. It completely blew her mind because she would play Terraria and Minecraft on her iPad that she had when I met her. So they introduced the fact that you could play it on a big screen on a console and stuff. It just absolutely blew her mind. And it did the same with Emily. It was like Emily got into the gimmicky side of the Xbox system with playing Fruit Ninja, like to the point where I had to put a hula hoop on the ground because she would gradually get closer to the screen. But yeah, like watching them play games and experience different stuff, and then like the fact that they all go in completely different directions. So like Jay is into a big horror games and jumpy games and stuff like that. And she's currently playing a lot of Fortnite with her friends. So where Emily is more about her Lego games and Animal Crossing. She's big on Animal Crossing and Zelda. And Logan's big into Minecraft and Mario. So it's just really interesting to watch them and like the different tastes in games. So
yep. No, I totally agree. It is fantastic. Yeah, I think that's all I got. For all of you people who listen, I do want to say this is an exciting thing for me. Or who watch. And we have had some sketchy Skippy podcasts, live streams every once in a while. I host because I have all the stuff to host, but I don't have the internet to host. Well, my friends, I'm getting fiber on Friday. 1 gigabyte per second up and down. So we are certainly hoping that takes care of all of the jittery jitters that sometimes happen in our podcast, that we can up our bit per second rate for you guys, give you a little bit clearer picture, and also make sure that we have a solid stream for you from now on. I'm very, very excited.
So my head My head will be shiny.
That's
in
right.
Almost 4K.
That's right. I'm gonna put so many bits per second on this sucker. It's like ray tracing. Like they'll be able to do the Forza, the Forza thing. Like it'll be just fantastic. So that's right. So excited about that.
But very, 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 thank you very much, everybody, for sticking with us with this. If you were with us when we were Game Pass News, you would know how far we've come with logos, sound, the transitions, the scenes, everything. And then growing into Game Pass Tracker and the backing that we've got from the social team and from the design team with everything and the direction that we've been taking in, thanks to Garrett and Alex for all their help as well.
Well, you mentioned him now, so we got to wish him a happy darn birthday. Okay, I mean,
yeah, well, it is. It is his. It's well, yeah. In over there, it's still his birthday. It's now not over here, but yep, he was celebrating his birthday. We're hoping to get him on the show soon, so you guys can meet, so we can talk about Garrett. He's an awesome guy. He's helped us out big time in taking this to the next level. He's the brains behind Game Pass Tracker on X and the direction that things get taken. Absolutely awesome guy. So we look forward to bringing him on the show.
And Garrett.
Yeah, we hope you're enjoying it. So, but anyway, guys, thank you very much for sticking with us. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for watching. Go remember, all our social stuff is at Game Pass News. You can find us on any social media app that is out there. If you want to send us an email, remember it's show@gamepasstracker.com. And please give us some feedback, some like on your podcasting app of choice. And until next time, from me, Nick, we shall see you later.
See you later, guys.